Okay, students. So next unit is rectifiers, and the topic is phase control rectifiers. And in phase control rectifiers, first we will study single phase half wave rectifier with R load. So that is the introduction of this topic. First one is, unlike diode rectifiers, phase control rectifiers has an advantage of controlling the output voltage. Second point is, the diode rectifiers are called uncontrolled rectifiers. When these diodes are replaced with thyristor, then it becomes phase controlled rectifiers. The output voltage can be controlled by varying the firing angle of the thyristor. These phase control rectifiers had its main application in speed control of DC motor. So phase control rectifiers means we have a circuit and here diode is replaced by the thyristor. Okay, and these diodes are replaced with the thyristor, then it becomes phase control rectifiers because with the help of these thyristor we can control the output. Okay, these are the applications. First one is in steel rolling mills, paper mills, textile mills where speed control of DC motor are necessary. Second one is its application in electric traction, in high voltage DC transmission and in electromagnet power supplies. So the question arises, that is, what is the control rectifier? So a control rectifier is a circuit that is used for converting AC supply into unidirectional DC supply and can control the power fed to the load. Okay, again I am repeating. A control rectifier is a circuit that is used for converting AC supply into a unidirectional DC supply and can control the power fed to the load. This process of converting alternating current AC, okay, to direct current DC is also called as controlled rectification. Means what is control rectifier? A control rectifier is a circuit, simply it is a circuit that is used for converting AC supply into a unidirectional DC supply, that is known as the control rectifiers. And second point is, this circuit can control the power fed to the load. Okay, hope you understand this. So this is the circuit diagram and waveform. So this diagram, this is the diagram of a single phase half wave thyristor circuit with R load, and we can say this is the circuit diagram of a single phase half wave rectifier with R load. This, okay, so here we can see this is the source voltage, this is the thyristor, this is the load R load. Okay, so here source voltage, that is equal to Vm sin omega t. So we know that thyristor is a semi-control switch, okay, and semi-control means the turning on of switch is on our hand while the turning off is not in our hand. It depends on the supply. That's why this thyristor is known as the semi-control switch, okay. So we are using thyristor in order to convert AC signal into a DC signal. Clear? Here Vs, that is equal to Vm sin omega t. In order to turn on thyristor, we must give Vs is greater than 0 as well as supply the gate current, that is Ig is not equal to the 0. Let us for triggering the thyristor, we will give gate current at an angle of alpha here. For triggering the thyristor, we will give gate current this at an angle of alpha here. This is known as the firing pulse. Okay, so here from 0 to alpha, here 0 to alpha, in this time this thyristor, okay, this thyristor is in forward blocking mode, and we have already studied the forward blocking mode of a thyristor, the forward conduction mode and the reverse blocking mode. So we know that in forward blocking mode here, this time from 0 to alpha, in this short time 0 to alpha, this thyristor is in forward blocking mode, so it will not conduct. That means output voltage is 0 and the input voltage is 0. Here the output is 0, here the input is 0, but across the voltage across this thyristor is somewhere. So the thyristor, we will get the voltage across the thyristor. Okay, and from here alpha to pi, in this interval from alpha to pi, at this time triggering thyristor, at this time from alpha to pi, the thyristor is in forward conduction mode. This thyristor is in forward conduction mode. This time thyristor can be replaced by a short circuit. Okay, then output voltage will followed by the input voltage, and applying the KVL means V output, that is equal to the followed by the input voltage, that is equal to the Vs, and that is equal to the Vm sin omega t here, and I output means I, that is equal to V upon R. So I output, that is equal to the V output upon R. So from alpha to pi there is also output voltage, and we will get some input voltage also. Okay, now next is the interval from pi to 2 pi here. This time from pi to 2 pi. Supply voltage is getting reversed in this time. This interval from pi to 2 pi. Supply voltage is getting reversed in this time, means Vs is less than 0. The moment when supply voltage is less than 0 means this thyristor will move to the reverse blocking mode. This thyristor will move to reverse blocking mode. Okay, means this thyristor will be replaced by the open circuit, and in this case when this thyristor replaced by the open circuit, in this time V output, that is 0. Here we can see V output, that is 0, I output, that is 0, and the voltage across this thyristor, and voltage across this thyristor when from time interval pi to 2 pi. This time V thyristor Vt, that is equal to the source voltage Vs. Okay, so here we see from 0 to alpha there is no output voltage, there is no input voltage because the thyristor is in forward blocking mode, and from alpha to pi, in this time the thyristor is forward conduction mode, so we will get some output voltage and the input voltage, and from pi to 2 pi the thyristor is in reverse blocking mode. There is no output voltage, there is no output current, but there is some voltage across the thyristor. Okay, hope you understand this. So this is the working principle. As it is, we already explained. The first point is the circuit consists of a thyristor T, a voltage source Vs, and a and a resistive load R. During the positive half cycle of the output voltage, the thyristor T is forward biased, but it does not conduct until a gate signal is applied to it. And when gate signal is applied to it means in alpha. Okay, when a gate pulse is given to the thyristor T at omega t equal to alpha, it gets turned on and begins to conduct. Second, when the thyristor is on, the input voltage is applied to the load. During the negative half cycle of the thyristor T gets reverse bias and gets turned off. So the load receives voltage only during the positive half cycle only. The average value of output voltage can be varied by varying the firing angle of alpha. The waveform shows the plot of input voltage, gate current, output voltage, output current, and output across the thyristor. This point I already explained, so kindly remember this. That is, next is average output voltage and RMS value of output voltage. So the average output voltage is given by, for this circuit, that is given by 1 upon 2 pi integration of alpha to pi Vmax sin omega t d omega t. After solving this integration, we will get Vmax upon 2 pi 1 plus cos alpha. Kindly remember this formula because this is useful for calculating the numericals. And RMS value of output voltage is given by Vrms is root square of 1 upon 2 pi, that is from alpha to pi integration Vmax sin omega t, sin omega t का square d omega t. After solving this, Vmax upon 2 root pi, that is pi minus alpha plus 1 upon 2 sin 2 alpha. this value is known as the RMS value of this output voltage. So these two values are important. These two formulas are important for calculating the numericals. And these are the average output voltage, and this is the VRMS, yani root mean square voltage. Thank you.